YouTube, Joshua the Window Cleaner here, and today I'm going to talk about something I don't normally talk about, is screen repair, because it does make a huge part of our income, because what we do is, like I did here, I'll show you, I washed all the screens, and then I inspected them as I went, and I put these to the side because they have like a little hole in them. So things like that, you can point out to the customer and actually make a pretty good amount. I charge, if you get the windows clean, I charge $25 per screen. And if you don't get the windows clean, then I charge $35, and that's just to repair the screen. So I think a roll of screen, you can get it from Home Depot. I actually use Active because it's a lot cheaper. And over time, when you get licensed, bonded, and insured, you can go with a more corporate company like Active and save a lot of money. But you can get like a roll of screen for, you know, we'll just say 50 bucks just to be on the safe side. I think I pay like 30, maybe even cheaper than that. But the price goes up and down, so you just gotta be aware of that. But you get a whole roll of that, and then you can repair a screen. I keep a little box here. It has knee pads. I have a saw that I can cut frames with. And I have like a roller, a blade, and a screwdriver. I have a lot of other things in here, you know, like corners and springs and other things that I might run into. But I just keep it all in this little box, and I can pull it out as needed. I really only need to repair screens, a roller screen, flathead screwdriver, a blade, and 2 different size rollers, and some knee pads. That's definitely going to help you from tearing holes in your jeans. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Really hope you can see everything. I don't ever know until I get home and start editing videos whether you can see or not. Sometimes I make videos and I can't use the footage because it's not showing what I need it to show. So there's a lot of videos out there that didn't get processed because my filming skills suck. That's why I'm a window cleaner, not a photographer. But I'm doing this to show you guys how to build your window cleaning business. So, alright, so I got my knee pads on now. Go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I go to the corner and I find the corner that's cut. Okay, so this corner here is cut. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, so right there it's cut. So then I just push on the screen on that corner on both sides, because you're gonna fix it anyways. And then the spline, this is called spline, you just pull it up and then you just pull it out. Okay, now luckily this screen doesn't have pull tabs, or you would have to maybe replace the pull tabs on it, which you'll see on some other screens I'm gonna do here. Okay, so just put the spline to the side and go ahead and pull these out. And I always like to wash the screen first. You don't have to wash it as hard as you'll wash a regular one, but it's just easier to deal with. And then afterwards, you can still wipe the frame down before you put the screen in. All right, now this part is important because you want to stay organized, because time is everything. So I always lay all of the old screen in a pile. Okay, and now it's ideal to have a table or something come out of the back of your truck. I don't have that. I feel like I don't need it. When I did use a table, I wasn't as efficient as doing it on the ground. So I just like figured that knee pads were better because the ground is solid. All right, so you take your screen, and this is 36 inch. You can get screen rolls in all kinds of different sizes to be more efficient. All right, so I roll it out like that. And you always want to keep the roll in front of you here where you're going to be working, and then always start on the right side. So I'll take one end of my spline. Man, I hope you can see this. So one end of my spline here, put it in the hole, and then just kind of run it a little bit. Now I want to make sure that I keep this straight. Okay, so I'll kind of run it on there, run my finger ahead of it to make sure I keep it straight. Okay, And I'll go to this side. Same thing. Push it in a little bit, get it started. And then you want to kind of run your hand over it. Make sure it's straight. Okay. So once you get it straight, you just roll it in there like that. And then you pull this much in. And then this part, you want to pick up the roll right here. Pick it up, go underneath the roll, and push your screen that way. And then lay it down. And as you laying it down, put your finger on this corner right here. That's gonna make sure that your screen is nice and tight. Now once you do that, take your spline and then start right here. All right, so start rolling it. All right, straighten it out. Cool, and that should be straight without bending the frames or anything like that. All right, to get it started there. Now on this part, it's a little bit different because you don't want the screen to be too tight. If you make the screen too tight, these frames are gonna bow in. So I always try to give it a little bit of slack, but I still try to keep it straight. So I'll just push down a little bit here to create a little bit of slack in the screen by pushing down over here. But you still want to keep it straight. So I'm just creating that space, and then now I'm finished. So now I'll take my knife, my blade, and then I'll cut off the extra spline. And the reason why there's extra spline is because I was pulling the spline as I was going, so there'll always be a little bit of extra. Okay? And then you just push down the corners with your flathead screwdriver. Okay, and then once you press them all down, you take your blade and you cut it off of the screen roll first. So when you're doing this, and I always try to make it a little bit longer right here and cut it, but when you're cutting, I don't know if you can see this very well, but when you're cutting, you want to go on that line right above the spline when you're cutting, because then you won't have any excess screen on the edges and it looks more professional. It looks like you did a better job. So I'll take this, and like I said, just start at the top, run myself all the way down right on the top of that spline. Okay, all right, same thing here. You want to run it right on the top of that spline. So important that you do that and watch it, you know, because otherwise you'll have screen hanging all off and it doesn't look very professional. When you do it this way, people are like, wow, you did a great job on that screen. Okay, so same thing here. All right, cool. All right, so now that screen is all repaired and good to go. You want to make sure that your frames are not bowed in. Looks like they're good to me. And then you just set it right over here with all the other screens. All right. So that's how you repair a screen without a pull tab. So this is how you do one with a pull tab. This one doesn't have any pull tabs, so I'm gonna put pull tabs right here and right here, so it makes it easier for the customer to remove their screen. So I'm gonna show you how I do this one real quick with the pull tabs. All right, so you got the pull tabs. And again, I'll be looking for that edge. There it is. Go ahead and pull that spline up, pull it out. Okay.
Now on these frames, it's a little bit different because when you go to tighten it up, it's gonna bow them in. So you wanna make sure that you put your foot on there and just pull on each side here just a little bit. Just enough to bend that frame out a little bit. Same thing here. Just bend it out a little bit. You don't want it to bow out too much. But yeah, so that's perfect. I don't know if you can see that. Same on this side. Okay. And this just makes it where it fits snug into the window. I normally just try to do it a couple inches on the sides here. I'm just trying to make sure that they line up. Yeah, that's lined up. All right, perfect. So it looks like my screen is not wide enough. So I'll do it this way. So when you're doing this, I'll always start with my spline on the right side. So I'll make sure that my pull tabs are on the left side. Okay. Cool. Okay. So you'll pull it to you. You don't want to waste too much screen. You want to make sure that it's straight. Make sure that the screen is on there straight. All your squares are straight. Okay. And once you do that, take your spline. Same process. We'll put it in this corner right here. And then you want to follow your hand. Make sure it's straight. Okay. All right. I'll go here. Perfect. Okay. So you'll lift up this side and then pull your screen, or push out on your screen. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm pushing out with both fingers, pushing it out that way. And then I'm gonna lay my finger down here. And this makes sure that the screen is straight. Okay. So I keep my hand down here holding that for now until I can get this straightened out. Okay. Now that I got it started, like I said, I'm gonna leave a little bit of space because I don't want it to be too tight. So just a little bit of space, make sure it's straight because it's gonna pull tight as soon as you put that spline in there. See how tight that is? That's why I always leave a little bit of slack, but not too much. Okay, run your fingers right there, make it straight. Same thing here. Okay, so I think I can get it where I can make one pass through. See how there's still a little bit of slack. But you see now there's no slack. It tightened right up. Okay. And your last little stretch. Perfect. Okay. Now it looks like it's bowed out a little bit here. So I'm gonna try that again. Just the bottom part. And I'm gonna try to create a little bit more slack. And sometimes you'll damage the screen when you won't be able to pull it out like that. You'll damage the screen. So just be careful and mindful of that. So I'm gonna create a little bit more space here. And then it should be nice and straight. Yep, see now you don't have that bow in, or I'm sorry, that bow in like this. It's straight across, so perfect. I got a little bit of extra spline left over. Just like I was talking about, you'll always have that for some reason. Okay, so I'll throw that over there. Use my screwdriver. Get the corners in. And this just makes sure that the spline don't fall out. And I always recommend, if the spline is falling out, you don't want to come back and have to fix it. So just go ahead and put new spline on there. And over time, you'll start learning the different sizes, and you'll get better with knowing exactly which one you need for the screen. But again, it's just like anything else, it takes time. You're not gonna just get it right away. I still have trouble building new screen doors, so I don't do it. But window screens are super easy, in my opinion, so that's why we offer it. And I mean, within the last 10 minutes, I just made 50 bucks, you know, repairing these two screens. Because this house is getting window cleaning too. Okay. So boom, I just made 25 bucks in however long that took me. Put new pull tabs in there. You can see that the frames are not bowed out. This side too, you know, it lined up perfectly. So that one's straightened out perfectly, and that one's bowed out just a little bit, which is what you want, because when you put it in the window, you want it to set flush in there. And so it's that little bit of extra curve to it helps. So put that one right there. So I got a few more screens to repair. I'm not gonna show you these because I feel like you can go back and watch the video if you need to on those two I just did. Those are typically the two kinds of screens that you'll see in Southern California. I'm not really sure what you're dealing with wherever you're at, but that's what we deal with. So hope you enjoyed the video. You can make a lot of extra money doing screen repair. So look into it. Make sure you have the right tools. And I'll give you more tips in the future on screen repair stuff. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.